Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas, and I am here with my friend Jacey. We are from English 1, and today we'll be presenting about the ethics behind pet ownership. An actor named James Cornwell once said, "Pets are humanizing. They remind us we have an obligation and responsibility to preserve and nurture and care for all life. Even though owning pets might sound enjoyable and easy to some, it is far more complicated than what is on the surface." Some might think that owning pets is only to feed and to take care of them. However, it goes beyond that. Each pet requires different kind of necessity. So today we're going to cover several topics which includes ethics in general, a brief introduction to pet ownership, the benefits and risks of owning pets, the rights of pet, and the responsibility of human on taking or caring of them, our opinion on what we believe is right, and a conclusion of our presentation. At the end of the presentation, there will be a chance for you guys to ask questions.
So, what does the word ethics actually mean? According to the dictionary, ethics is the moral principle that is within an individual or a group of people. They affect how people make decisions and lead their lives. Ethics is concerned with what is good for individuals and society, and is also described as moral philosophy. Now, moving on to pets ownership. To own pets, it means to domesticate and tame animals for our personal reasons. The word pet comes from the Scottish Gaelic peta, which means to tame animal. Now, as seen on the infographic, in Asia, about 60% of people owns a pet. That means 3 in 5 people. The top 3 animals that becomes pets are dogs, cats, and fish. The Philippines has the highest percentage of dog owners in Asia, with a whopping 67%, and about half of Indonesian households own a pet cat. Now, about 41% of pet owners decide to have pets as they help alleviate stress. 36% of them keep pets for the company, and another 36% keeps pets to feel more secure.
Continuing with the situation of pet ownership now. As of 2020, people who own pets in the US have increased to 70%, and it is at its peak. Pets have kept Americans entertained during the pandemic. In that instance, the food and supplies of pets have increased too. This was shown by the spending trend of people. Around 32% said they spent more on their pets in the last 12 months than in the previous years. People also prefer food that takes into consideration humanization, premiumization, and sustainability. Moving on, having animals as pets seem to be a nice thing, isn't it? However, it indeed comes with several benefits and risks when owning them. Let us start with the benefit. According to research, it has been evident that people find pets beneficial. Some data even suggests that owning a pet improves mental health. In addition, having pet might encourage physical activity, which link to improving people's cardiovascular health, like when they are jogging. In the past, animal contact have been proven to provide psychological advantages. An example would be reducing symptoms of mental or cognitive diseases and loneliness. Thus, having pets could benefit the owner both physically and mentally. On the other side, the risk of pet ownership. Zoonotic infections are a possible risk of animal contact. Having pets in the house possesses health risks to adults of older ages. Animal might carry parasites that can transfer to humans. This is especially dangerous for individuals with compromised immune system like our elders, as their body might not withstand certain diseases. Animal feces is an example of how diseases might be spread as feces carry bacteria that can make humans sick.
Moving on to animal rights and human responsibilities. According to People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA for short, which is a non-profit American animal rights organization, every year Millions of unwanted animals are euthanized as surplus. Domesticating animals has become a worldwide pastime, resulting in an overpopulation crisis. Millions of dogs are chained or confined to small chain-link cages. It is surprising how often brutal cases such as dogs and cats being shot with arrows, blown up with firecrackers, doused in gasoline and set on fire are documented by PETA. This leads me to my next point. In several investigations, PETA has discovered puppy mill breeders that keep dogs locked up in filthy cages that are barely larger than their own bodies, as shown on the picture on the left-hand side, causing them tremendous agony and distress. They suffer from infectious diseases and injuries as they're kept in either small wooden hutches with wire flooring or chained to trees with little to no shelter. Dogs rescued from this horrific compound don't usually receive proper veterinary care and socialization. Imagine having to live in your own ways with pus-filled wounds, excruciating ear infections, and lethal parasites. Well, this is the reality of puppy mills. Furthermore, this is an example of how animals are affected by the immoral actions of their human owners.
So far, we've talked about animal rights and the reality of puppy mills. Now, I'd like to move on to the responsibility of humans when owning pets. These responsibilities include walking and playing with them regularly, as this is a form of exercise for them. Taking them to the vet for regular checkups and to know their current health condition and provide them with their required medical needs, such as vaccination or medicine to treat their illness. Feeding them appropriate meals, which includes their age, weight, allergies, and all the other factors into consideration to ensure a healthy diet. Providing safety is also humans' responsibility. This includes inside and outside their home. To ensure this happens, owners might want to consider keeping away harmful items that might endanger them, such as small items as they are choking hazard and sharp items as it might injure them. In the case of outside houses, the owners can place tags or install microchips into their pets to be able to track them in case they got lost or stolen. Despite some owners finding installing microchip as a way to keep their pets safe, some might think of it as an unethical decision as they will need to operate and install the microchips, which might worry some owners and question the ethics behind it. However, is owning pets considered an ethical thing to do? Well, according to Corey Leeren, a sociology lecturer from the University of Kent, pet keeping is fundamentally unjust, since it involves manipulating the bodies, behavior, and emotional lives of animals. Pet bodies have been altered to suit human style and whims for millennia, causing significant physical trauma to these animals. For example, physical characteristics that are prized, such as tiny and large statured or pushed-in nose, can cause discomfort and make breathing, birthing, and other normal functions difficult for them. Pets are usually restricted in their daily movements, crated or caged, and most of the time they are kept indoors, all at the whim of their human owners. Next, Jacey will talk about what is the right thing to do.
We believe humans need to take into consideration how their actions affect their pets both physically and mentally. For example, the breeding of dogs might cause physical trauma on their bodies, as there are several complications to breeding, such as crippling, hip dysplasia, blindness, deafness, heart defects, skin problems, and epilepsy. This is one of many reasons why some might consider breeding unethical. Secondly, humans need to know the type of pet that they are going to keep, as all pets have different necessities. Some might even require special treatment due to illness or a specific environment for their new home to become habitable. In addition, humans need to guarantee that they are physically, mentally, and financially fit to take on the responsibility of owning a pet. Pets such as dogs and cats have a long history of being human companions, which we think is morally good, to a certain extent, however. We'd like to finish by emphasizing that owning pets is a privilege and not a right, as certain requirements need to be met to ensure the animals meet loving owners who will treat them well. We need to start realizing that pets are living beings and not objects. Pets aren't property that can be owned, traded, and controlled. Just like us humans, animals have feelings as well. This is it for our presentation. If there are any questions or comments, we'll do our best to answer them. This is the reference list for all the information included in this presentation. And these are all the sources for the pictures we used. Thank you for your time and attention.